Welcome back, everyone. Episode 33 of the Milk Bucket Podcast. We got me,
boys, the big 3-3.
we got me, we got Baz, we got Aaron.
Hell yeah.
How we doing, boys?
Doing excellent, man.
That's
Freaking
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Friday, fucking 31 degrees Celsius. That's like around maybe 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was meant
Beautiful
to storm. It was meant to storm with hot weather, and instead we just got a fucking lovely day.
Yeah, fucking incredible weather.
Great
Weather
to be in this
update with Milk
country.
Bucket.
Also, fantastic little thing. Oh yeah, Aaron's going to tell us a little bit of the
What's
test
that?
sitch.
Oh,
Test sitch.
yeah.
But before that,
yep, go ahead.
we do have an exciting update. We now have headphones so we can all listen to things. And we're going to play a fucking message in a sec from a good friend of the show, Tomo. Now, if you want to be part of the show, if you've got a story, if you've got a gripe, anything like that, you can message us on Instagram or Discord, and we can potentially play out your thing, give you a shout out. So if you want to be part of the show, make sure you follow us on the Instagram, make sure you follow us on the Discord.
And send us a voice note.
Yeah,
that way
100.
we can play it on.
100.
Shall I put it
it's
on?
a good story. It's good, yeah.
And by the way, there's two. By the way, so James has listened to this. Me and Aaron haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
So there's 2 parts. We'll get started with part 1.
Here we
Hey
go.
guys, how's it going? I've got something that annoys me quite a bit, right? When people over-exaggerate, like holy shit, like when they will just over-exaggerate to the point where they're just lying, like it's just stupid.
Now you got to play the next one.
I'll play the second one.
Like one time I had a friend who basically was telling a story and made one of my other mates think that I was grinding on his ex-girlfriend, when in reality that wasn't happening at all, and he was just saying that to improve his story, I guess, make it sound better. I don't know why they do. I don't know why people do it. It's stupid.
I'll explain. Yeah. So what essentially happened was one of Tomo's friends made it seem like Tomo was grinding on another one of their friends' ex-girlfriend. When that wasn't happening, he was just doing it for the story.
Yeah,
and I must say, look, out of the 3 of us, there is, let's call him a liar, but amongst the midst.
Okay, no, I wouldn't. Okay.
I would call it a lie because the amount of times Baz said, yo, it's popping off. There's tens everywhere, bro. Bottles are popping. Drake dropped by. He just fucking rapped a sick verse for us. Things are going crazy. Girls are giving out free blowjobs like they're hugs. You know what I mean? It's fantastic. Then you rock up and there's literal like 3 horses. You know what I mean? Half a woman. And like Baz and 2 of his mates jerking off in the corner. And you're like, what was this?
Okay, firstly, it's never
this?
been that crazy. And this is the explanation why. Because when you're talking about something, it's like in a movie. Imagine if a movie was a realistic depiction. Like, you know, when you watch a movie, it's the craziest things that could possibly happens. So whenever you're recounting
Wolf
something,
of Wall Street was based off a true story.
yeah,
True, good point,
but they
good
don't
point.
show all the hard work. They don't show the 10 years of grind he did to build that company. They just show the fun parts.
So was there a lot of hard work when you go to a pub and say there's tens everywhere?
No, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that
That's a good pickup right there.
it's only natural when you're explaining something to someone that you give them the highlights. No one wants to watch the.
You don't give them the highlights. You take the low lights and you pretend like they're massive to make them highlights.
as a movie does. Is a movie a lie? Sure. Okay.
Yes, it is fundamentally.
Okay. Sure. But how many non-fiction?
No one
movies?
goes into Star Wars being like, oh, it did happen a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
If I could go back in time and then go back from when we first played this audio clip, my first question would be like, do you like to watch non-fiction movies or fiction movies?
But this is life. And
No,
when
but
you
I'm trying
tell
to
a
say-
story in life, especially when you tell like Tomo's situation, especially because it puts Tomo in the doghouse with his
That being
mate.
said, I think in Tomo's situation, like I would be just as pissed off because someone else included you in their lie. Was one thing, including someone else in your lie, to you saying like, okay, well the night's better than it is.
See, but my issue is that it's never that. It's always you're trying to get me to come by lying about how good it is, and then I get there and it's shit.
Yeah, but
Like
the
there
thing
was
is,
one time Baz hyped up this fucking bar called what's a backpacker bar in
Sidebar.
Central? Yeah, Sidebar.
Sidebar.
He's like, bro, it was banging. There was mad people. There was fucking bitches everywhere. It was the greatest time. You know, music blaring.
which it was.
Fucking
That's not an exaggeration.
fantastic. I went there. It was the deadest place ever.
The
and I
next week.
said,
the next week. By
just
the way.
wait.
So it wasn't the
just
same.
wait.
night.
You said to me in that fucking place, this was about as busy as it was last week.
Ooh, plot thickens.
Well, the reason why is because you put me in a bad position because
Yeah.
yeah,
You were drunk.
it was different. It was different conditions.
You
But-
didn't tell me that at the time.
But also that's completely different because that
not.
night was really good vibes because at the end of the day, it's not about the external circumstances that make up the vibe. You could be at home doing nothing with a couple of good mates and have a much better time than a club full of hotties. So it's not about the external
but
factors that make it a good time.
the
It's about the
reality
people you're
is
with.
it's easier to have good vibes at home because you control the vibes.
I
When-
strongly disagree.
That's such cap. Think about all the times you never go to the club because the pre's are so much fun, or you leave
Oh, yeah.
3 hours later.
Okay,
than
yeah,
meant
no,
to.
I totally agree.
You
but-
control the vibes at home. When you go out, when you go external, the vibes need to be at least somewhat good. Otherwise, you're walking into
I don't
shit.
think so. You could literally be in the most boring. We could be in Star Pub, the most boring
It's a different vibe.
place ever. No, well, it can be a good
You're
vibe.
You're searching for a different night.
Yeah.
Star Pub, you're
anyway,
not going there
that's
for
my
10s. You're
justification.
going there for free nuts.
In Tomo's case, I totally agree. Like, there was no need for that lie. There's no need to say that that Tomo did it, and now it made him look shit
Yeah,
for no reason
yeah.
at all. But in another case where it's about inviting your friend over, you don't tell him, yeah, the club's fucking doing shit.
But the thing is, all
If
it does
the
is
vibes,
just
and also if the vibes are good, like if you're with good friends and you're having a really good time, it's not about the external circumstances. Like,
But it is when you
You're
start
gonna come
saying,
in and have a
you
great
start
night.
talking about the external circumstances.
but we had an awesome night that night. It was an incredible night. And if you joined, it would have been even better.
I know, because
the
you
only
wanted
pe-
a certain thing from me.
No, it doesn't. No, it's not about that at all.
It was
what,
about that.
What it is that if you had come, you would have had an incredible night.
No, I wouldn't have, because I'd work at fucking 8 a.m.
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't know that until I called you. But
And then you persisted to try and get me to come out for the
of course,
next
bro, I'm not going to give
40
up.
minutes.
Okay, how would you feel knowing who I am if I said, "Hey, Aaron, do you want to come?"
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, it's
We,
Hey, Aaron,
yo.
can you remember that time Basil said he wasn't pushy?
Oh, I actually do remember that, and it is incorrect.
The amount of times I've thought about this since, and I'm like, is he fucking retarded? Is he so unaware of himself?
it turns out I am. But this is the thing. I think it's disrespectful to not be pushy when it comes to inviting a friend, because they could literally be like, "Oh, I don't know," because a lot of people, especially in Western culture, they're so worried that people don't actually aren't honest with them and aren't being truthful. So it's a lot of people might say, "Oh, I don't want to go," because they're actually not sure if they're actually invited or if they're just
I've
invited.
never thought that way when you invite me to stuff.
Sure, but I confirm that if you are thinking that, it's not the case, because I'm gonna
That's
really try to invite you
such
over.
cap, because you're not dealing with vague acquaintances. You're dealing with people you've known for fucking 6+ years,
but also-
and have gone out with many times.
Also, that being said, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer someone to be like, "Hey, do you want to come out?" Nah, don't want to. Okay, no worries. Or do you want someone that actually really wants you over, that they're going to put in a bit more effort
It really
to try to
depends,
convince
because
you?
if you've got something
Yeah.
on, you can't change it. Like, you've just got something on.
Yeah, but that's if you got something on or you got an assignment the next day, completely fine. But a lot of the times you don't go out, especially introverts. Introverts just don't want to go out,
Sure.
and they can be convinced.
Which one of us is introverted?
No, I'm saying I do this with everyone, not with just you.
I
guys.
know,
or
but-
everyone that I want to come over.
Yeah.
So for myself, I'm not trying to change people who have got an assignment due the next day. I'm trying to everyone who could go out but just isn't convinced. That's the goal. That's the target market that I'm going for.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. It's just historically, I think when I've said no, it's been like, "Oh, are you sure?" Or try to convince me, and then I'm like, "No," and then you're like, "Oh, please." Well, not please, but like you continue to go on.
Please, sir, come with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So that's where the pushiness comes in, which is totally fine. I don't mind it. Like, it's just who you are.
Yeah. Fair enough. Anyway, I'm keen to hear this update on Tess.
Oh, okay. So test.
Yeah.
The
So
girl
for those,
that
give
yeah.
us a quick recap on what happened last episode.
Yeah, so we had a girl over in the last podcast. She came over. We spoke to her, interviewed her, almost, I guess you could say. So if you haven't heard it,
So
check
she's
it
got a
out.
boyfriend that Aaron is. You wouldn't
Yeah.
say friends with.
No,
but you know.
we're
Oh,
mates. We're
okay.
mates. We're not best mates,
Would you
but
say
we're
you're
definitely
mates or
mates.
acquaintances?
No, we're probably mates.
Okay,
I'd say.
cool.
Yeah, so I'm mates with her boyfriend. So she came on the podcast. She was very drunk.
She wasn't very drunk.
Well, she was drunk on her way, and then when we
when
left,
she got here, she was like pretty much sober. She didn't have any drinks.
yeah. So when we left, I
was
said, "Oh,
drunk.
you're pretty sober now," and she was like, "No, I'm really drunk."
Kind of tipsy. I
Yeah,
think,
tipsy.
You could hear in the way she slurred her voice when she was talking about fucking the pink tax and stuff. She was
Yeah.
not in sober minds. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we left, her and I, because I had to catch some public transport to get home.
Yeah.
Do you think she was fit, Aaron?
That's no comment. She's my friend's girlfriend, so I
Yeah.
can't say anything.
Fair enough.
So we left, her and I were walking. We split up, and then as soon as we split up, like 5 minutes later, she sent me a voice message on Facebook.
And just sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
She's been with her boyfriend for how long?
2 years.
2 years. So completely random guy that Aaron's friend with.
Yep. She sent me a message saying, "Yeah, you made this really hard, but I really wanted to kiss you."
Oh.
So
these
In this
hoes aren't loyal.
situation, what would you guys do? Like, if your friend's girlfriend
Don't ask
messaged
Basil.
you,
It depends on how close you are to the friend. See, last week I massively underestimated how close you were friends with him. If the friendship's above a 5, then it's probably better not to do anything. If it's a 4 out of 10 friend, like you've seen him once, had a chat with him, then I honestly don't really
Gone
care.
to the gym with him a few times.
What?
Oi, little inside joke over here.
Just cut central this episode.
I don't even know what you mean.
Basil's not a good friend, just saying.
No, no,
Not towards
one
me,
time
just to
was
someone.
One time.
Mr. Homewrecker over
Look.
here.
Basil's not always pro Palestine.
Are you calling me fucking?
You're the homewrecker, my
homewrecker?
mans.
Okay, I mean,
Anyway, so what ended up happening is I
To
had
be
to
fair,
tell
Basil
the
wasn't a
friends.
homewrecker in that stage. Basil was more like he walked into Beirut after the explosion
exactly.
and then he like kicked over a like a rubbish bin.
exactly. It's already fucked.
Like he broke a broken thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But
Okay,
still, the
okay.
guy's rubbish bin you kicked over wasn't happy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we were much closer than a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Much closer. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so I told the friend I had to.
Episode 33, spilling secrets.
Yeah, so I got uninvited from her party, which is fair enough.
Fair enough,
Yeah,
yeah.
like the boyfriend wasn't too comfortable with
See,
what
the
went
thing is,
down.
you're the good guy in this situation.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was telling you this before, but you've pretty much just given him a massive power move. You pretty much said, your girl wanted to smash. I said no.
Yeah, James is nodding his head.
I think that's in Hamish and Andy's newest book.
Yeah, it should be.
Get your mate's girlfriend to want to fuck you, reject her, then tell the mate and say,
Look, we
What do you
don't know
want?
she wanted to fuck.
She
but-
obviously did.
I don't know. I don't
We
know if
knew
don't
she
know
wanted
that.
to before she got here.
yeah.
That was how keen she was.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if she was or not at that point. Like, it
Yes, she
seemed
did.
like it, but
we were
didn't
also
know.
everyone
we
could listen to
spoke
the
about
podcast,
it in the
we all-
podcast, yeah,
Yeah,
but we didn't
yeah.
know for sure. And when she was here, we couldn't really tell either. We didn't think so.
That was because she was so engrossed with fucking not all men.
Yeah, yeah. Either way,
I'm curious to hear what people thought about that podcast.
yeah.
I was really
I would
keen.
love to
I
hear
liked
it in the comments.
See, the issue was she was drunk, so it's hard to form like an articulate point of view when you're not like sober. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, also, I mean, keep in mind that we're usually pretty tipsy when we do these. But and secondly, is
I
that
don't think we're.
it was also less question. It was more question and answer rather than conversation.
Yeah,
and I
sure.
think that when it comes with like next guest, we need to enforce
Also,
the
you
fact.
motherfuckers just sat there quiet. The
Oh, we
entire
couldn't-
time
no,
letting
no.
The boys roast.
Dude, I wanted to speak, but it was
Wait,
too
you
hard
think
sitting
that
next
I
to
was
Basil
sitting here
sharing a
quiet?
mic.
I was the only one saying stuff.
We were sharing a mic, so it was really hard for us to speak.
I don't think you were. I did not think that you were the only one saying stuff.
James was carrying it, I think.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
To be fair, you're right. I did have the mic.
Yeah, yeah.
But my point is, like, when she was saying, like, oh yeah, you know, every time women walk down the street, they need to have a bazooka just in case. I was like, well, not every time, right?
Yeah.
When you're walking through fucking St. Ives, it's probably fine.
I get what you're saying, but I mean, there is always a bit of a fear.
Yeah, sure.
Girls, so I understand that. I want to
Yeah.
move on here. But something also about Aaron, I recently learned
Okay.
that he apparently has 30 YouTube accounts.
Oh, yeah.
30 YouTube
Probably more,
accounts.
to be honest. Over the years, I've fucking
What,
racked
do you
them
just
up.
have
How many
30
red
fucking emails?
How many red tube?
How
Yeah, no.
many hentai has
The
it?
power with Gmail is you don't need to keep making accounts. You
Oh,
can just
what?
you can have one Gmail account and have multiple YouTube accounts. So I've
Oh.
got like over 30 connected to one, and it's called The Attacker.
Wait, actually.
Yeah, The Attacker.
And
Because
Because-
his sexual predator name.
Okay, what I used to do, I don't do this anymore, is I would target specific YouTube channels and just fucking destroy them.
Like what?
I'm not going to name any channels.
What,
Delete them.
would you always dislike?
Wait,
and then-
I would fucking mass dislike. I would
Can
never
you do
like
us a favor,
comment
Aaron?
fucking.
How
bad
old were you
things.
when you were doing this?
I was
Last year?
18. So I
What?
was way too old.
Why?
I don't know. It was
I
fun.
thought this was like an
no,
8-year-old
no, no, no.
thing.
So this wasn't even like I don't know. It was just something that me and my friend did.
Well,
Well, I
most
think
people were studying for their final exam. Aaron was trying to fucking crush the dreams
Yeah.
of small creators.
To be fair, we used it for good sometimes. Like if we found a small channel, they were like, "Oh, okay, this is good. We're gonna mass upvote this."
Did you ever do that?
Yeah, we did that. We did that a few times.
Who's we? Is this an organization?
No, no, no. Me and
Jay?
my friend Jason.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, the follow-up question I was about to
Two
ask
boys
is,
with 500k net worth.
I didn't say nothing.
hey, what the hell?
Who knows how much money?
Well, what I
I
was
got.
about to say is, did you feel like you did that because you were a YouTuber? Like, especially
was a
growing up,
YouTuber
so
at the
you
time.
knew the pain
yeah.
of it?
Just on-
I want to talk about something about
Okay.
Aaron. I was at a pub the other day with
Yep.
the fam. We were all drinking around, and you know, some music came on and started reminding me of a story.
Oh god,
So there used to be a bar called Bar Century.
my favorite.
Oh,
I
Century
fucking love
bar.
that one, bro.
It used to be the place when you're 18, you go get $5 drinks before you go to the clubs. It's fucking fantastic vibes.
Yep.
Now, myself, Aaron, a few other girls, we're at this place, right? And a song by Queen comes on, Bohemian Rhapsody, one of their famous songs.
Oh,
And the whole like audience of the fucking bar starts erupting singing it.
Yeah.
It's like an arm in arm, que sera, the world's coming together, you know what I mean? Like it's just peace. Except for Aaron, who's standing there awkwardly, not knowing any of the words.
It's a long song.
No.
It's 7 minutes.
And see, that's acceptable.
It's also not that good.
That's acceptable. No, I mean,
I'm not a Queen fan.
I mean, that's great. You know what I mean? You're more into sticky keys on the fucking keyboard, but like, you know, the reality is Queen sold
Sticky keys.
100,000 fucking tickets to Live Aid. Anyway, the
I've
funny
never met
thing.
someone
Just wait.
Okay, I'm going to come back to it though. I'm writing it down.
The funny thing is, about 2 months later, we were at a bar. And Bohemian Rhapsody came on again.
Oh, yeah?
And this time Aaron knew every word for word.
No, actually?
He knew.
Have you just binged it or what?
He knew the tempo. He knew the beat. He knew like the little like
the song changes and shit?
Yeah. He's mastered his tone. And it was just such a funny realization that he was like, oh, I can't have this happen again. So he went home and studied. You know
The only thing left to do is get HIV. Then you're 100% in.
So here's the thing, growing up.
Figaro.
Let me explain myself, please.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So growing up, I have relatively young parents. Actually,
Yeah.
they're the same age as your
Yeah,
parents, so
my
I can't
parents,
use
yeah.
that as an excuse. But in the car, we always listened to the radio, which played modern music. We never listened to old classics. So I'd never heard any of these old classics that everyone seems to know somehow. So I had no way of knowing all these lyrics. So when it did happen, I was like, fuck, this cannot happen again. So
to be
I
fair-
fucking learned that shit ASAP.
Yeah.
So next time I'll be
No,
fucking
I had a bit
prepared.
of respect for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, he learned from his mistake and now he's well prepared.
Yeah.
Are your parents just not into music?
But no, they're
Because
very much
that
into
would have been what
music.
they grew up with. Like that would have been.
No, my mum listened to alternate music.
What's that?
New Order.
What's
The
New Order?
1945.
I don't know what that is.
That's a joke on the 1975. Yeah.
Bro, that
Took
song
me a
you
second,
sent, it was
yeah.
like To It or something.
Two time.
It was so shit.
Bro.
But to be fair,
1975 slaps. I hope we have got like
Smells like
the
chocolate.
5% of Milk Bucket audience that is female will completely respect my opinion on listening to the 1975.
I
Because
know,
they
maybe
make
you guys can eat-
bangers.
Maybe you guys can eat chocolate and cry about losing your virginity.
Yeah, legit.
I,
Fucking hell.
dude,
But
makes me feel things.
I don't blame you for not knowing Bohemian Rhapsody, like the lyrics for it, because I don't think the song is that good. I would never listen to it like on Spotify.
That's
Yeah, either
ironically,
would I.
as a guy who
And-
studied music, you tend to have a very unpopular opinion on it.
Well, the reason why is because just because something's popular doesn't mean that it's necessarily good. It's like you with Apple phones. That's the perfect example. But
Yeah,
suddenly
I know,
you have the
but
opposite
you also
perspective
like
on
fucking
this.
Mozart.
Yeah, no, I love Mozart.
Yeah.
But the reason
Bohemian
why
Rhapsody's far more catchy than Mozart.
music for me is not about catchiness. It's about difference from normality. So if you expected it to have like, you know how when you listen to a song for the first time in your head, you're kind of predicting the future?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
If it's a
so-
pop song, yeah, you can do that.
This is why I love EDM so much, because you'll never know what's on the next beat. You'll have no clue. It could be anything.
That's actually very untrue.
Yeah, I was going to say you're playing some music before and it all sounded the
tribe.
same.
But the thing is, I think you're listening to it differently because the main things are the same. Like you might have the same beat going on,
Yeah.
but within it, the harmonies. So the melody is the main thing you listen to, like you sing along to. The harmony is everything else.
I think you're just trying to justify your weird
Yeah.
taste in music.
It's
The
not
thing
that.
is-
It's not that. It's that there's very specific things that I enjoy.
The
And-
thing
and
is,
Queen just doesn't hit it.
With Queen, you can't. They're one of those bands like the Beatles that are undeniable. If you see the live footage from them at Live Aid in, it might have been Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
It was like 100,000 people in one stadium, and when you look at the crowd, it doesn't look like people. It looks like a living organism.
In Queen, when they did it in like the
Yeah,
80s
yeah.
or something.
It was fucking.
Yeah, I watched the movie.
It was so. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know, but like there's footage from it.
Yeah,
they,
the
like,
the
recorded it.
movie has the footage.
I know, but like I watched the full set of what Queen did.
Oh, shit.
And it was fucking crazy. And like the idea of like, cause the whole idea of, in that movie, the whole idea of We Will Rock You is like, they want a song that the audience can play. So that's why we've got that dun, 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 right?
Oh, okay. I see.
Imagine being in the stadium with 100,000 people chanting in unison, doing that movement.
Yeah, that'd
Imagine
be
how
insane.
powerful the energy is. The reason why festivals are so fantastic is because you've got such a large amount of people in one small area at the exact same wavelength.
Do you guys want to hear a controversial opinion here?
What's
Yeah.
that?
You guys are gonna hate this.
Okay, I'm keen.
I don't like any sort of live music where it's up to the musician to make it sound good. Where
What?
If you're a singer, if you're a rapper, if you're going to be doing something that's variable, I don't want to hear it.
So you like when people press play?
Yep. Exactly. And all
Why?
they're doing is listening to see what people like, and they're putting more of it.
But they're not
What
even
gets the
really
crowd
doing
going?
that, really.
Uh-huh.
They're just hitting play and going.
No.
Yeah.
Some do. The majority of them just hit it and fucking quit it. but a lot of them aren't. Like a lot of them are no. Like Skrillex, for example, he's known for not having anything, and sometimes his thing unplugs.
Skrillex hasn't been popular for fucking 30 years, mate.
Yeah, true. But there's a lot like that. Like
Dubstep's so
Timmy
cringe,
Trumpet,
bro.
what's his name? James Hype. Lots of them are known for like doing really, really cool stuff on the mixes.
Right.
But and this is the reason why, because Michael Jackson was known for when he would play his music, he would do 100 takes.
I think it was known for something else.
He was, I know. But one of the things that he did
Smooth
was
Criminal.
That's definitely
the
it.
reason why his music is so good is there's no fucking chance he did it on the first take. He did 100 versions of it, and then he got his producer to listen to every one of them and pick one.
Yeah, I think that's most musicians.
What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they do with the fucking with EDM.
No, yeah, exactly.
They go through 1,000 loops.
I know, 100% agree. So
Right.
this is the thing. When you take it live, you're just listening to him fucking singing it. Like it's going to be, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
going to be good.
fantastic.
No, it's not. Objectively speaking, it's not going to be his best version.
See, I think
Sure,
certain
that's the
genres.
vibe.
It's gonna be a random one. It could be his best one.
No,
but
certain
it's
genres.
unlikely.
Certain genres, I agree. Like I think rap tends to seem like shit.
It's
because
always shit.
It's
Whenever you-
always them doing voiceovers
Yeah.
sometimes, and it's more. But the thing is, it's energy.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
whole thing is
yeah.
you like. If you went there just to hear them sing, it's probably not going to be good. But then you hear some people like Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran has fantastic performances where he goes in with no band, with literally a guitar and a loop pedal, and he'll literally create the song from fucking like strings as he
Yeah.
goes along, and it sounds fucking amazing. It really depends the type. Like Michael Jackson wasn't actually known for being the best singer of all time. He was like a triple threat, kind of like the whole package and stuff like that. And he was one of those dumb guys who just did what they told him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you look at like a Bruno Mars or like an Ed Sheeran, where their voice is actually elite without auto tune,
Doesn't matter. It,
No,
it
it
will.
does.
It will never be as good as a recording.
I disagree. Because when
How?
they're doing it off the beat, when they're doing it off the cuff, you feel special. You're
Yeah.
experiencing this
Okay,
thing
sure,
with
sure.
30,000
No, I
other
to- I
people.
totally agree,
He's
but-
got a fucking phenomenal voice, and
Yeah, I
you're hearing
agree.
him just rip it off the
That's
cuff.
all there, but it's not going to be the best version he sings. He's
it's
in
not
front of
the
a
best.
massive audience. He's just been traveling around the world. He's fucking probably a bit hungover, a bit fucking jet lagged. There's no fucking chances that it's. Have you listened to who's the people that did Radioactive? Imagine Dragons.
yeah.
Have you seen them live? They're
No, I
shit.
haven't.
Like,
But I've listened to
And
plenty
also-
of people live just because I prefer the sound of them being live.
Well, this is the other thing. I actually enjoy to hear the song. I'm not there to hear. Like I want to hear them playing it.
Here's the issue.
But I want the song to be correct. And firstly, whenever they're singing it, it's always out of tune. It's completely out. And it
Not
makes
always,
sense.
no.
It's always
For
out of
example, Ed Sheeran, never.
yeah.
Ed Sheeran is probably one of the Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars. I mean, there's a couple of Billie Eilish that are known for never doing auto tune, so they're actually really good singers. Sure, but your rappers, they're not.
Yeah,
singing
rap,
in tune.
sure,
Rappers are
yeah, but
different.
you're not going to a rap concert to hear them rap really well.
That's why.
It was what- it was what
That's why
James said,
I
it's
go
about
there
the
because of the
vibe.
music. I go there because of the music. The
Here's-
music being good
I
is the vibe.
actually know the fact here.
Yeah.
You don't listen to music for lyrics at all.
Yeah.
If
That's
they
so
have
strange.
if they have lyrics or they don't have lyrics, you could have it or take them. You might even prefer if they don't have lyrics. Whereas most people like the lyrics along with the beat are the things they remember. But the lyrics really are the things they remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
most songs, there are specific fucking like exclusions. Like even "We Will Rock You."
Yeah.
Yeah, the "dung dung ting," that's fucking world famous.
Yeah.
But "We Will Rock You" is pretty fucking famous
Yep.
itself, you know.
Yeah.
And like because singing has pretty much been the most popular genre, like singing in all its variations tends to be more popular than like EDM, especially the ones which don't involve singing. You're
Yeah.
always going to have more people listening for that. And like you hear like someone like Michael Bublé, he's got a phenomenal voice that he
Yeah.
does go off the old school Sinatra track and makes it sound better than a recorded session live because he's
Yeah.
taking risks. And it's so fascinating to hear.
I've also got to precurse this that although I haven't been to a live like singing event, like a
Yep.
big concert, I've seen like hundreds of people sing, like professional singers sing, because of the school I went to. I went to a music school. A lot of people
Yeah,
are
but
singing.
you guys,
Oh,
what
no, like
singers are you
concerts,
guys listening to?
Concerts. Oh, all types. All types.
Really?
People that made techno. All types of music.
It's not singing.
No, but I'm just saying that's the range. It goes from classical to techno, jazz, tango, everything in between. Anything you could, any sort of genre of
Has
music.
any of them done
there was-
anything in like that most people would know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who?
Wait, do you want me to name a person?
Yeah, that's
Who's sung
done
it?
something that like people would recognize.
Are they like someone who's famous?
Yeah, who's sung. We don't give a fuck about
There's tons of
classical
people
pianists.
with tens of thousands of followers on SoundCloud. There's someone in my.
So every SoundCloud rapper.
But it's like we would know more than others that it's very hard to grow, and getting tens of thousands of followers on something that you're singing and not having a professional producer or an agent or anything like that. It's a lot of work. So she's done pretty well for herself, like, and she's a really good singer.
What kind of songs does she do?
Alternative. I'm not a big fan of it, but I respect it for.
What does alternative encompass? I don't know what that means.
It's kind of like moody, kind of thing like Billie Eilish without the beat.
So
that's-
You know, without it being
1975.
upbeat. Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Well, and here's another
Too
thing.
sad.
Well, which one would you
Who
prefer?
needs to cry that much? That's what I don't get.
I love it.
Well, here's another thing. If you're listening to a rapper rapping,
Yep.
well, at the end of the day, you've got to know that he is probably nervous. There's no fucking way he's
What?
sitting there
Nah,
calm.
there's no
Why?
chance.
Okay, maybe he's gotten confident through it, but if he's sitting there rapping and he's so concerned about getting all the raps right and getting people entertained,
They're not.
how is he thinking
That's why
about?
they go over the top of the song.
Wait, what do
Yeah.
you mean?
They'll have their song playing in the background and they'll rap like fucking 3 words of it.
Yeah, but
and
he
then
can't say the
yeah,
wrong-
yeah.
He can't say the wrong words.
But he doesn't have to. It's his
Yeah,
song.
he can just stop speaking.
Yeah, but you don't memorize all your songs.
Of course you do, because you know which songs you're gonna play.
Okay, read me your last essay that you wrote.
Wait.
You don't.
Did I get paid fucking $20 million to write the essay and only had 5 of them?
No, but I'm
What
just.
are you
saying,
talking about?
Well, you think that they know all of their songs off by heart,
All the songs they're gonna play on that night. Of
Yeah,
course they
yeah,
do.
for sure.
but they also have to remember them. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's not that hard.
It's not like
Baz,
it's
you're
plugged
the
in
one with the
forever.
weird memory that you can't fucking remember what you had for fucking lunch 30 minutes ago. If you've spent the time to write 6 songs that you're going to prepare, you could remember the 6 songs.
I don't think it's 6. It's like 20. And
Wait,
also,
so Baz,
even
can
and
you
also, you guys are blaming me for the one thing that you guys do.
What?
What's
Because
that?
if they've going to do 6 songs, then they've literally just press play.
What do you mean?
What do you
rather than an EDM DJ, which is my preference, is sitting there listening, like watching the audience,
They're
seeing
not,
what they
though.
like, and
They're not, though.
And then no one set is the same. If they're doing what they're meant to do, they've not got a list of what's going to be played. They know they're going to play first,
But just
based
like-
on what people react to.
just like-
they'll change the
The
second
thing is,
song.
just like if a rapper is doing what he's meant to do, they won't lip sync, they won't do anything. They'll just go out and rap like live.
Yeah.
Most people don't do what they're meant to do. There are plenty of DJs who you literally see there just fucking hyping up the crowd,
Yeah, but I don't go
walking
to
back and
I don't-
forth.
But everyone has their favorites, so I prefer to go to the ones that I
Yeah,
know are going to
but
be.
there's
like,
no
really good.
rapper that just doesn't say anything when they're on stage.
No, but it's the same set of songs. It's not personalized at all. It's like it's they just come.
Yeah,
here
it's
to
when
do-
the new album comes
and-
out,
and
they
people-
Oh, in
change.
fact,
But
there
people
is
talk shit about
personalization
that
because
on-
people call in.
Or encores and
Encores
shit.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't
They
think that's
chant
planned?
stuff.
You don't think encores are planned?
What do you mean?
What you think that they put one plant at the back of the stage, then 2 guys over here, then
It
one
happens
here.
every single concert,
Yeah, because everyone knows what an encore is, and people want to hear the famous songs.
so it's planned.
No, that
There's
doesn't
no
mean
way
it's
they don't
planned.
plan for it.
And sometimes they come out with new music.
What do you
Like
mean
I
they
saw
don't
one rapper
plan
live.
for
It doesn't matter. It was planned. They
So
put it
what?
in.
Yeah, he
Planned
still knows
makes
all the
it-
words. What's the
Baz,
problem with
By
that?
you saying it's planned, that means you've said that they've got hired people in the audience to shout out that particular song and hope that everyone jumps on them. That's retarded.
Wait, people are telling them what song to play and like shouting it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, maybe it's different.
Think
But,
about rock.
but you can have a rough agenda, and then if someone screams it, you can okay,
Well,
let's play that
okay,
song.
that doesn't even matter. I'm still not over the fact that you don't think people know their own songs.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely don't.
They
forget
do.
it.
What do you
100%.
mean? Like, I know you don't listen to songs with lyrics, but do
I
you not
do.
know the words to any songs?
Very, very few.
Okay, that's a
Yes,
you
yes,
thing
yeah.
because
Yeah,
most
yeah.
people can say every word to a lot of songs.
How many songwriters do you know?
One.
Okay, and have you asked them if they know every word to their songs?
They would know every word to the songs that they play live, yes. Because I've seen her live.
Also, it's
But have
not,
you asked her like whether
also
she sat
Baz,
there and
Baz,
memorized
Baz,
it?
Baz. It's not about them knowing every word to every song they've ever written. It's about every song they're performing tonight live.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's not like that. Firstly, that is my point. The fact that they're coming with a pre-prepared fucking song list, which is everyone talks so much shit when they do it in EDM, press play. But then these guys are blatantly doing it.
No, because
and
the
they're not even
difference is-
they're not even singing the song.
It's
that
not
well.
Because
about
the
the-
difference is they're pressing play, whereas this guy is still performing the song.
Exactly. It's not about the fact
Well,
that it's
they
a
are playing- they're performing
pre-prepared
the song.
list of songs.
It's not performing
It's an
song, they're
electronic
hitting-
song. What, are you
Yeah,
gonna
they
have a
press
fuck-
play.
Are you gonna have a fucking bass drum? You're gonna hit the bass drum? It's an
So
electronic
if I play
song.
the song on fucking YouTube, am I playing that?
yeah,
I'm
Absolutely.
performing if
Yeah.
I click play.
absolutely.
So if I go and turn
Yeah.
onto the Google Chrome thing and play the Tribe right now, I've now played the Tribe live.
Absolutely.
That's
Okay,
retarded.
you're retarded.
You're,
yes.
you're going to hear the
insane.
best version, the one
No,
that they've
no, no,
recorded
no.
a million times. It's been produced. It's perfection. Now you get to watch it with the DJ there, with the vibe, with the lasers, how it's supposed to be. But the song is perfect.
Look,
you're
I
not fucking around with any dumb shit rappers that aren't rapping in tune. That shit pisses me off so much.
I think
sounds
we
like a person, like
I
your
don't
dad
even listen to
whistling in the
rap,
car.
so how would you know?
No, I've seen it in concert. I've listened to some rap songs.
Look, I think we should move on, but I'd love
Yeah.
to hear the audience's opinion
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Basil's fucking
This is
weird
the thing.
opinions.
I preface this by saying you want to hear a massively unpopular opinion
Yeah, you did. I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
It was very unpopular.
Yeah.
between you two. But
Oh,
that, but
we'll
that,
see
that's,
in the comments.
If
don't
you
we?
think that it's not between the
I
rest
can
of society,
see. I know it's vastly unpopular, but the point is, why would you settle for bad music?
Because
they've
the
got a
vibe, like James said in the beginning.
Yeah, but the vibe can be there in other ways.
How? All right, let's move on. This is
lasers, atmosphere, people being in the same mood. Like it's so many different ways you can have vibe.
it's a different experience, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You get a
worse
unique
one.
set as opposed to you getting the set everyone else has seen. It's cookie cutter versus personalized.
Yeah, yours is
Ooh.
cookie cutter.
No, yours
No.
is cookie cutter because
We
they
just
didn't play.
established that they've got a preset. You guys established that
No,
there's a preset.
but
songs
every
that
time
they've
they play
memorized.
the song, it's different.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, shit up.
Different story.
No.
No.
How could it not be better? How could it possibly
Exactly,
be better
how could it
when
not
they've
be better?
recorded it like thousands of times possibly to get that perfect song? Sometimes they even record it in parts. Like they've sung the chorus 35 times and they've picked the best version.
Have you
How
ever
could
been in a
expect-
bar with live music?
No, never in my life.
Oh, really? I know that's
Just doing
sarcasm.
about the
But
thing. But like my point is, if you haven't experienced that live music is a fucking vibe, I don't know what to tell you.
yeah.
It's live music either way.
No, it's not. You're literally just pressing play.
Yeah, as opposed to?
As opposed to actually singing
As opposed
into
to
a microphone.
strumming a fucking guitar, playing the drums.
Yeah.
What instrument is there in EDM? that they could
Fucking
play?
Sticky
The
keys.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah, but yeah,
Guitar.
they have a MacBook Pro.
Guitar Hero, not Guitar
The
Hero.
instrument
fucking-
that's used in the song is being used how it's supposed to be used. So it's just a different instrument.
He literally can't
It's like-
change
it's
it
like-
at all, though.
No, but it's like saying, why isn't the saxophone guy also singing at the same time?
This
Fucking,
is
do
what
you mean?
Basil's
It's a
saying
different-
right now.
It's a different
This
genre.
is what Basil's saying right now. If I recorded myself playing Hot Cross Buns on the recorder and then
Yeah.
went up to Reading and played it live, I've now performed Hot Cross Buns live in front of people. When in actual fact, all I've done is shown on my phone on
Yeah.
this middle of the stage. It's not what it is. If you're playing an instrument in front of all these different people, that is you actually
I
performing the
would agree
instrument.
with that. Like maybe with instrumental electronic music. So if you had drum and bass, where you could have a drum and a bass guitar and you could play it, then yeah, it's a bit of a cop out. But if you're listening to music like psytrance, where it's not actually a real instrument, so there's no physical way. It's like singing while playing saxophone. There's no
Yeah,
physical
but my
way
point
you
is
can do
you're
it.
trying to pretend like it is the same thing when it's not.
I think it's better. It's the best version of it.
Let's move on.
Yeah, this is going in circles. I want to read out some 5-star potty reviews.
Oh,
Okay,
smart.
so
I
guys are
like it.
funny. From Yeet the Beast, we had 5 stars. Such a great podcast. If you haven't listened yet, why don't you do it now? Or your
Hey.
mum is fat. Nice podcast.
Thank you.
Nice.
You're a legend.
I like the end. Noise.
Aradom Jordan, I'll make it my mission to spread this podcast further.
Oh,
Just says fur ... This podcast is so addictive and amazing that whenever my Uber Eats driver arrives at my doorstep, I bolt joyously to hold them hostage and plug earphones into their ears until each and every episode is finished. I've made sure to implant viruses in my teachers' computers and
Hey.
grandparents' phones that make sure that to play Milk Bucket episodes on repeat. Listening to Milk Bucket has been life-changing for me and has
That's
caused
too
me to
funny.
be more attractive, healthy, financially successful, and a better person overall. With Milk Bucket, I've also been able to graduate early and lose my ability to spell. I highly recommend MB to every mammal alive and dead today.
hey.
Taller, bigger penis.
Was it-
Nothing wrong.
Was that the Jordan guy?
Yeah,
Hey.
Aradam Jordan.
Oh, that was
You're a
one guy.
massive
I
legend.
thought it was multiple.
Right
Friends.
after, we've got another great one from Steve Carell's Transplant, which is 5
Hey.
stars. Very good.
Hey, thanks, brother.
We've got funniest podcast ever. You guys came up on my TikTok, and since then I've been obsessed. You guys are seriously hilarious. Keep it up from 007 Sal.
Hey, I don't think that's my sister.
It's definitely your sister.
You never know. Never know.
Basil 007 Sal. I don't know. This one's your sister. 5
Hey.
stars. Super funny. Such a fun podcast to listen to. Not going to say the name because it's actually just the name.
Yeah, oh, so
No,
that
right.
establishes that the previous one isn't my sister. But anyway, go on.
Thick CD. Great pod. Really funny and great chats. Awesome pod. And then this one, which is my favorite, 4 stars.
Oh.
From Armo9 says, fantastic to listen to, great and unique, very enjoyable, and I'm a massive fan. Only thing is, they bring Palestine up too much.
Oh, shit, really? He really
We
wrote
haven't brought
that.
it up. We did a lot in the early episodes, to be
We
fair.
definitely did a
But
lot.
now we've massively segued off anything political.
Do you reckon just to like make it fair, we should be pro-Israel for a few episodes?
I'll be the representative.
We can have someone who I'm okay with that. Because yeah, I'm okay with us making it equal by having someone who's on their side. Fine. Okay, we can do that.
No, I'm kidding. I have no opinion on the matter.
Aaron's IDF, Basil's Hamas. I'm fucking Bruno trying to say, but you both like hummus. Yo, what do you guys think are some major red flags in girls?
Or who wants to start?
I'll do one. You don't fucking voice message your boyfriend's friend to you want to kiss them. That's one.
That's a huge one.
Yeah.
How about we have some that may or may not be like actually red flags that you've noticed and you've ignored, but then you regretted.
That's hard.
I
I
got
don't
an
have an idea.
I can start us off. Oh, you
Okay, yeah, no, you go with what you're saying.
You sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So what my one was is, and this is actually a red flag in the future. If someone is like treating their mum or their sister disrespectfully, like someone close to them, it's likely that it's going to happen to you.
Have you ever had that?
Not in that context. I don't want to say the exact same thing, but it's something that I saw that she would do to her mum and her sister.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, there's no way she'll do it to me. But towards the end,
Anal?
no. Well, I mean, yes, but that wasn't the thing that she was doing with her mum. What was yours, James?
No, I was going to say, I'll say things and you tell me if you think they're red flags.
All right, go on.
Okay, playing games with texting.
Oh, yeah. I
No,
do that all the fucking
Not a red
time.
flag.
Yeah.
That's totally normal for our age. It's actually kind of weird if you
It's
don't.
part of the
Not
game,
normal
yeah.
If a
for
girl
our
just
age,
replies
bro.
when
We're
she-
24.
No,
Dude,
bro,
it
what?
is fucking normal.
It's complete, bro. If you respond as soon as you see the message,
Yeah.
you're a psycho.
Yeah,
And I don't want to
exactly.
talk to you, bro.
Yeah.
But if you're talking to a chick, you don't want to be texting all the fucking time. We're not 12 years old anymore. All right, wait a little bit.
It's
Text
not about
2 or 3
that.
times a day.
If you're doing it because you're not wanting to have the fucking full-on conversation, that's one thing.
Yeah.
If you're doing it because you're scared she's going to think you're too keen.
I
Well,
think-
it's
but
not about being
It's no one
scared.
reason. No, okay, I'm on the green flag side.
Yeah, I'm going green.
Let's try to do this rapid fire so we can go through some. I'm pretty keen.
Girls who are still... okay, this is one. Girls who are friends with probably like 10 guys and there's no girls in that group.
I think it's fine.
I
They're
think
the
it's
girl
fine.
of the group.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
It's not my preference, but it's fine.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
on the same boat.
Yeah.
Girls who are... They would say, I'm just being friendly, but like maybe to an outsider who doesn't know anyone in this situation, they might perceive her being flirty.
You go first.
See, I think if the roles reverse, that could happen with me a lot, and I think it's absolutely fine.
Okay. I don't think it's
Flirting's
a red.
fun, really.
Yeah.
I don't think the red flag is her like cheating on you. I think the red flag is her being.
Well, it's not
naive.
cheating.
If she's being honest, if we were to take her as being honest and she actually was completely innocent about it, then the red flag is her being naive. If she's not being honest, then that's the red flag that she's just being dishonest.
But here's the thing, right?
So either I think it is a red
Wait,
flag.
we're just talking
one or
about
the other.
flirting, right? There's
Yeah.
no cheating involved here.
Well, it depends where you draw the line in the sand. I think anyone
If
with
you
a
draw the line
relationship
on
should.
flirting, you're a fucking child.
Sure,
man.
but it just depends on where you draw the line.
I mean, sure.
It's case by case.
I think the thing is, people always say they're either doing it on purpose or they're naive. And I think there are certain people, and the same thing goes with guys.
Yep.
There are guys who are just bubbly dudes and they don't realize that certain girls have massive crushes on them because maybe they don't vocalize it or something like that.
Yeah.
And suddenly you find out that like, shit, there is more attention. Like I was just thinking it was just a mate or something like that. Maybe I'm not attracted to them, so I don't
Yeah.
even see them as
Yeah.
that. And they're a bit more timid, so they're not going to make the first move. I think there is a world where that happens where not every girl is a master manipulator where they're just thinking. A lot of girls smart. A lot of girls are fucking dumb, bruv. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of guys are dumb. And at the end of the day,
Yeah.
there are always going to be girls who not realize is one thing, but maybe their personalities are just bubbly people. And as a result, because they're bubbly, guys find it easier to talk to them. Therefore, guys find develop attachments easier.
Yeah, you're right.
You guys have changed my mind. I'm not going to call it a red flag. I would say it is
Yellow. I was literally about to say it's a yellow flag.
And it's not at
Proceed
all,
with caution.
Yeah, it's not at all about the cheating part. It's about the fact that she's either unaware or she's lying to herself.
Yeah,
That's the fact. That's the issue.
sure.
If you brought this up a couple like probably ages ago, but you said you hate it when people pretend something that it's not. Right? Just know what it is that you're doing. And if you're okay with it, then beautiful. But let's not pretend that it's something else. And if you don't, and if you truly think it's something else, well, then you're naive, and that's it. That's another yellow flag.
No, but that was in a different context than this. That was like, I don't like people who say, no, don't show me the picture of the cow getting killed because I want to eat meat with a healthy conscience. I think that's bad. I think if you want to eat meat, you should understand it's a dead animal and you should accept that.
Imagine if they did
or
that at the
just don't
grocery
do
store.
that.
Which one do you want to eat? Like they had a picture of the cow that you're eating.
Right, I'd be fine.
I would be fine too.
I
to be
definitely
honest.
no issue, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But my
I'd
point
meat
is,
it
like,
and then eat it.
I do believe that there are girls who are literally just being friendly, and maybe they're just like a fucking bubbly chick, and at a party 10 guys have a crush on them because they're just being friendly, and the guys are so like starved for compliments.
It's like a very
that-
like 14-year-old thing, hey.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That like
I've said-
they just develop, because there are girls like there's I used to work with a girl, right? I worked as like a coffee rep or something like that, and it was a very pretty Colombian girl.
Yep.
She might have been like 28 or something like that. She was very pretty, but she was one of those girls where she was just a little bit flirty. You could never tell if she was flirting with you or she was just joking
we
around.
all know one.
And the thing is, she like I should preface that the fact that she's Colombian, there is like a difference in Latin culture versus like Latin affection versus maybe white affection.
Okay, yeah,
Like
okay.
Latin, you could if you went up and kissed both cheeks, that's not even slightly a thing. Whereas like, you know, if you're a fucking little virgin kid and a girl kisses both your cheeks, you're kind of like,
Oh, bro,
what's
you're in
going on here?"
love.
You know
Feels
what I mean?
incredible, bro.
Yeah.
But she is a girl that she will go to a party and fucking 10 guys will be like, bro, was she like keen on me? I couldn't tell. And she could literally just be rocking with it. I'm just having fun and I don't feel the need to be mean to every guy I speak to just 'cause I'm in a relationship.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which I kind of agree with. Like, why would, because in the same way, like, I wouldn't want my girl to be like, you have to be rude to every fucking
Yeah,
female.
exactly. Yeah, that's a red flag actually in itself.
Yeah.
Oh, my phone is ringing, I think. Here's another red flag that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
A girl that goes out too much. What do you reckon?
What do you mean by go out?
Like goes partying like 5 days a week.
I think it's a red flag in a different way.
Explain.
I think if a girl cheats, she's going to cheat whether she's clubbing or going to the fucking grocery store. I think it's more if she's going out 5 days a week, she doesn't probably have any direction in life.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not someone who needs to have a chick who needs to be like, I don't give a fuck if the chick makes, 500K or like 60K, because to me, maybe this is old patriarchal shit,
I
but I'm
get what you're
like,
saying.
I'm going to be
Yeah,
fine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm more caring about like passion and shit. Because I find like, that's why a lot of times I like artsy chicks. You know what I mean? Like singers and stuff like that.
Probably
because, like,
listen to the 1975. Just saying, if they're artsy.
they're guys,
Hey,
bro. Come
what
on.
are your thoughts?
Yeah,
red
I'm
flag?
kind of with him. I don't think it's a red flag for the reason that they're going out. It's just something that I'm not exactly attracted to if they're going out 5 nights a week clubbing.
Okay.
Because the
I
chances
more or less
they're
agree.
holding down a strong job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just less if you're always out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you're less likely to be able to chase your passions unless your
Yep.
passion is dancing on a fucking table.
No, I agree. I agree.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
girls with daddy issues.
Ooh.
To date? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Today.
No, to date. I mean,
Ah.
red flags don't matter if you're just going to fuck. You let them all slide.
What did I say about the safety pins, bro? Guys will accept anything.
I think it's a yellow flag.
The
I-
bulldog clip, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You think
don't-
it's a yellow flag?
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I don't think it's a big deal. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even say it's a yellow flag. It's out of their control.
At my first
can't
thought
do
was
anything
like,
about
maybe
it.
this is a red flag, but then like some more thought, like what's a big deal?
Yep.
It depends like if they're emotionally unstable, because the reality is daddy issues tends to become from like, it tends to be them searching for a father figure type.
Yeah.
And if you have to fill that role, potentially you're going to have to do a lot of other unpleasant shit.
Good point.
So like the fucking kinky sex with her calling you daddy, I don't know if like for a relationship, if that's worth having to deal with all the emotional instability from not having a father give
Yeah.
her a hug once in her life, you know?
All right. Am I going to address the elephant in the room?
What's that?
The red flag that we all need to bring up?
What's that?
A girl with a high body count.
Oh, what's high though?
It's hard to pinpoint a number, but I would
Exactly.
say stop counting at 50.
Oh shit, that's a bit of a red
Which
flag
is
for me.
which is not something that which is something I've heard a couple of times.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? There's an Aussie podcast, shout out to Scumcast. One of the guys, they said something which was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He said if she had fucked all of Australia but was in the UK, he doesn't give a fuck. If he met her in London and they were living in London, because he's not walking around the street and she just bumps into one of her fuck buddies and suddenly they're hugging and he's just like, what the fuck's going on? This is uncomfortable. But if she's done all her dirt in the city you're living in, you're living in the filth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're living knowing that like at any point you could be at a restaurant and some dude rocks up and she's fucked him and she's fucked the the bartender behind the thing and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I
so you think
I love that. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, like
I actually I'm gonna take devil's advocate here. I actually don't agree.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't like to pretend things on. It's going back to that. If it is what it like, I don't care where you did it. I don't care how you did it. If I'm gonna accept you, I'm gonna accept you. I don't care. It's not about.
so your thing is you're just not going to accept.
No. For me, it's not an ego thing. It's not about. I don't want to bump into someone that you fucked. I don't care if we bump into your ex. You've had a past. You've had a history. I'm gonna accept that.
Well, I mean, if you do have a problem with it, it's definitely somewhat an ego thing.
Well, it's not an ego thing, as in I don't want to be. It's not about me. It's about
What's it about?
It's about her. We're talking about red flags for her. It's not about is that gonna hurt your ego? That's a fucking red flag about you, not a red flag about her.
I don't know. I think guys say this, but a lot of it boils down to insecurity.
Yeah. So would you say it's a red flag then?
See, it's hard because like
We're not talking about all of Australia. We're talking like 50 and she's 23.
see, 23 is just so young for that to happen.
Oh, she goes out every 2 weeks
That is so.
since she was 18.
I know
bro,
one girl.
I've gotten
who
with a
was
girl who was over 30 before she was 18.
Yeah, she's called a slag. I don't know if we can say that or not.
No, but we're saying, is that a red flag?
Yeah, like the thing
That's the
is,
question.
I would then question, like, and it's kind of sad to say this, a lot of girls, a lot of time develop their self-worth through their body, and that's why a lot of them, look
So
up
do
to
men.
Kim Kardashian.
Absolutely. Men even more.
No, I disagree.
Bro.
Jim. Think about Jim.
Yeah, but the guys
Yeah.
who develop the guys who actually become proper gym rats don't tend to be any happier.
And think about how much confidence you gain when you lose your virginity.
I didn't gain any more confidence when I lost my virginity.
Wait, really?
Because I'm a virgin.
Hey.
No, but I actually didn't
No, I have to
gain any
test last
confidence.
week.
Oh my god.
god.
Oh my.
By the way, we have a switchboard.
I don't think guys. I don't
So
think
red
guys are the
flag or
same.
not red flag?
No, so that's my point. It depends where it came from because, like, I think girls, because they get so much attention for their bodies on a daily basis,
Yeah.
if the only way she felt fucking good about herself was sleeping with a bunch of guys, that's a red flag. Not because she slept with a bunch of guys, but because it shows some level of instability.
But
But
isn't
if
that
she
better-
just happens to be a fucking like happy, healthy person who liked having sex,
Yeah.
then I don't know. It's hard for me because in theory I want to say I don't give a fuck, but at the same time, like, if it stems to a deeper issue that I'm gonna have to deal with, like her low self-esteem can only be filled by the gratification of men,
That's-
and I'm gonna have to deal with
yeah.
that
So-
fucking 20 years down the line.
So I'll be
don't want
honest,
that.
I think it's a red flag, but it's not because I think that she's going to cheat or anything like that. Not at all. What I think it is why is that happening? Because that's not average. That's like not many girls have that situation. So what is it about you that's made you have this? Whenever someone has something crazy going on, whether they're really good at fucking basketball or just anything that makes them unique, it's probably because of them. Something about them made them do it. So the question
Yeah,
is,
horny as fuck.
yeah. Well, I don't know if it's horny or if it's attention driven or if it's like lack
Because
of confidence.
also-
it could be
Yeah.
anything. It could be anything at all.
Horniness doesn't lead. The thing is, if we base it rather than body count on the amount of times girls just got fucked, it would be a completely different ball. Because this girl who fucked 50 guys by 18, she might have only fucked 50 times, whereas a girl who's had a steady boyfriend since she's
Yeah.
been 15 has been railed thousands of times by that point. But that's what my point kind of goes down to. Like, if she's a really horny girl, that doesn't necessarily correlate to her sleeping with a bunch of
Interesting
guys.
point,
It could just be
yeah.
her having a boyfriend and fucking that boyfriend constantly.
I think they're different. I think body count is very different to
In what way?
well, because the ego thing comes in.
You just said it wasn't ego.
Well, I mean, but the ego. Well, we both agree that the ego is there. But when I'm
You
talking,
just-
Oh my god, Baz.
I was
can't
saying there
wait
was
for
ego
you to
there, and you were
re-listen to
saying,
this
no, it's
podcast.
not
let me
about ego.
re-clarify. When we were answering the question about it being red flag,
Yep.
ego, we have to take it out of it because we're not talking about us. We're talking about her. Now I'm saying it's different
But
because
it
like,
being a
as-
red flag for
yeah.
her is based around our
Oh,
ego.
but I thought we've already resolved that. We've already answered whether it's a red flag. I'm just saying, holistically speaking, it makes a difference because, like, the ego. I'm not going to argue that the ego doesn't exist.
Right.
Of course, it's a huge massive thing about ego, but that's not a red flag about her. Holistically speaking, the reason why it's not about quantity, it's not about quantity of times having sex. It's the amount of quantity having sex with a new person. It's because the ego part comes in.
Yeah, but you didn't get what my point was. I don't think a girl with a naturally high sex drive necessarily will result in fucking more guys by 18.
Yeah.
She could have one steady boyfriend and fuck that guy every day. And that's what fulfills her sex drive because girls tend to feel more comfortable. Like, there's a study which is like 5% of girls come on a one-night stand. I bet you it's even lower with 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
under 18-year-olds, right?
Absolutely.
So a girl who sticks with one boyfriend who finds out how to make her come and all that kind of shit, she's probably going to have far more gratifying sex than the girl who's fucked 20 guys.
Yeah.
That's why when you hear about these crazy numbers at low ages, I start to think, okay, is there a reason for this beyond you just felt like having sex with people? Is there something where, like, the way you get gratification is through other people? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I get what
Because
you're saying.
if there was a way where you could do a fucking check inside a girl's head and she's like, nah, I was in the situation, I wanted to do it, it is what it is, and you could fucking do a little check to say,
yeah, I
like,
agree. But then,
is there anything driving you to do this, like, that's
Yeah.
mentally unstable? That's something I don't give a fuck about. Because she also might be good at sex and
Mhm.
giving head
well,
inside.
I don't know.
But if it's
yeah.
driven by something else that's eventually going to manifest in other shitty areas,
Yeah.
I just don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
get what you're saying. Well, here's another question. It's not a direct question about red flag or not, but which vices would you be okay with? Because if her vice is going out and sleeping with guys, okay, that's a red flag. If her vice is doing drugs, okay, that could be a red flag. If her vice is drinking alcohol, it's a red flag. But then, like, what if her vice is going to the office and working her ass off so she doesn't think about anything? Is that a red flag?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I would have said no like 6 months ago.
Bro, we've had this.
I think we spoke about this on the podcast even. But yeah, it's a bit of a red flag now.
What if she wants to just spend like a day alone? But she wants to
That's
do that
fine.
like on a weekly basis or on a couple, like every time you guys have a fight, she just doesn't want to talk to you for like a day or two.
The thing is, that's kind of me. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like
For like 24 hours or 48 hours.
No, it's more like when I'm like, if I get in a fight with someone, I just want to chill. You know what I mean? Go for a walk, my own thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree that sometimes
The
it's
thing
better
is,
not to
I
settle
can
it
be
then.
I can be very social, but I also don't get anxious if I'm by myself.
Appreciate.
You know what I mean?
the
I know
alone
how to
time.
be I know how to be by myself
Yeah.
without like. Although that being said, like when I have like a week where I haven't done anything, I start being like, oh fuck, what's going on right now?
Oh, here's a red flag: a girl that doesn't have friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And explain why is that a red flag?
It means you're going to become that person's life, which I don't like. I like girls who have their own thing going on. It doesn't have to be career driven. As long as they have their own hobbies, they have things that they like doing that doesn't involve you.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I'm curious about this. What red flags? And you can't just say some corny shit like, nah, if they have one, there's no chance. Because it's just not
like
true.
which one will you permit?
Yeah, what red flags do you think are able to be like worked through? So for instance, like you might say, I'm trying to think of an example. Like okay,
no hobbies.
A girl,
No hobbies is a red flag, but you
a
can work
girl,
through
a girl who's fucked 100 guys isn't a red flag that she can undo.
Yeah.
She can't unfuck 100 guys.
Yeah.
But there are certain ones you can go through.
Yeah, yeah.
What ones do you think are worth pushing through in a relationship?
It depends on how hot the girl. Not how hot.
That's so true.
No, it's about how attractive the girl is. Firstly,
That is a big factor because realistically, like you're not going to stick around past the first date if they're not reasonably, if you're not attracted to them.
Because it's
to
all
be
about.
fair, you're not going to stick around past the first month if you don't find them interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
No, attractiveness is interesting is part of attractiveness. I'm not saying attractiveness from a physical perspective. I'm saying like holistic. No, I mean attractive holistically. So
Sure.
you can be
Aaron,
attractive.
you don't stay with a girl you don't even get to the first date with attractive girls because you could get not interested in them.
Yeah.
What are
okay,
you
you,
talking
make
about?
a good point because I find something wrong with.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
not, well, that's
okay.
if you're not interested in them,
That's
then
a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
if you're not interested in them, then you're not attracted to them. It's that simple.
No, they can be fit.
Well, if you're not attracted,
Yeah,
means
but
that you're drawn to them.
Have
If you're
you
not
ever
going to see them,
Have
you're
you
not
ever
drawn to them.
spoken to a girl who's gorgeous and you're just like, how are you this stupid?
Rochelle.
Yeah.
Oh, I blanked that fucking name.
Mhm.
Oh, no one's gonna know anyway. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
fuck it,
Yeah,
who gives a
yeah,
shit?
yeah.
Have fun with your 4 kids, cunt.
Oh my god. Oh my
It is what
god.
it is, bro. Fuck
Do
it.
you guys think a girl who doesn't have any hobbies is a red flag?
Yeah.
Because I think everyone's experienced that.
But the thing is, I think about that because to me, career ambition doesn't matter as much as following passion. Because I think reality is, this is a controversial topic, I guess, especially with our like group.
Yep.
I think when you purely chase career growth, I haven't seen many instances throughout the history of time where that's led to happiness. It tends to just lead to
Facts.
stress and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think when people have hobbies that they can pursue along with these kind of high stress but like rewarding potential opportunities, like, you know, if you become a fucking CEO, you have an enormous stress, but you also have like all these doors open for you. Like, you know, maybe you can afford to fucking fly first class. Maybe you can afford to have really nice houses and stuff. And if you have these hobbies that can help keep you grounded and like give you purpose in life aside from your job, I feel like, I don't know, you're able to live a more happy life and you're able to live something rather than just your 9 to 5.
I love that.
And I think, yeah, like when you see girls
totally
who
agree.
just have straight up no hobbies, it's bad because where do you put your energy when you're not doing work or this or that?
But how do you define a hobby?
Something
Like,
that
could
you
it
do
be-
outside of work.
Can it be something as small as playing iPhone games, for example?
Sure. Playing
Okay.
games is a hobby.
Okay, maybe I should.
Yeah.
I understand that is a hobby definitionally.
Yeah.
But I think because my
Some people
hobbies
like
tend
lose
to
their
be,
whole life on it.
I know, but I think on average my hobbies tend to be more productive, and maybe
So
that's
it doesn't
why
have
I
to be
think
a
of that way.
People make
productive-
millions of dollars playing games,
No, they don't. Not
No iPhone games.
you can't say people. What people do you know?
like in esports.
Not iPhone games.
Well, I mean, like Clash of Clans and shit. Like they make videos. on it.
Maybe they do.
Yeah,
on
I
like
don't know if they
I'm
make
just saying,
$1
yeah.
million in Clash of Clans.
It doesn't matter,
It's,
like,
it's a $1 trillion industry. It's definitely.
Yeah, not from them, from the fucking in-app purchases.
That's a
It's great
side
for
point,
them.
I think.
Yeah, but I mean, it's between everything.
Anyway, is it
Anyway.
is it the fact that it's like it can lead somewhere that makes it a hobby, like for you, or
I understand that's not what. Maybe this is just my hobbies. I like
okay,
doing.
yeah.
Like for
I'm
instance,
the same, yeah.
like drawing doesn't necessarily lead somewhere, but there's a huge technical ability you can see grow over time, and you can like. I had a friend who was like a housemate of mine.
It leads,
and
but
she
I'll just
drew
caveat it by saying it leads a lot of places. But anyway, go on.
potentially.
Yeah.
Like if you're not trying to be an artist, it could be something that
But
like
the creativity it develops.
yeah, sure. But the thing is, I saw some of her arts, and she liked drawing like famous people. So she drew like Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that.
Oh shit.
And the detail of it was like fucking astonishing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it literally made me see her sketch like be in awe for a second.
Okay.
And I think
Wow.
like that kind of thing, even though most artists never make any money, even the ones we all know today, most of them made money after they fucking died. You know what I mean? Their estate made money from it.
Yeah.
And I understand it's technically not something you'd make money from. Something that you can like, Jim, what's the progressive overload?
yeah.
Like the ability to do that in a hobby is something that I personally like because you can see progress over time.
Yep.
Whereas like things, and not to just slate cunts who play like repetitive games and stuff like that, but stuff like that to me doesn't feel as rewarding because I don't see the same growth as I do with other things. And like, I don't know. I also like doing things physically to some extent. You know what I mean?
Sure, but I have to remember that you're like an extroverted guy.
Yeah.
Extroverts tend to feel better from good emotions. So like going out and going a
Wouldn't
run.
everyone feel better from good emotions?
No, extroverts are more. So extroverts feel more happiness doing the same thing that an introvert does.
Really?
It's,
Is that fact or is
well,
that a?
it's something that
That's
it was something
yeah.
that Jordan Peterson said. So he's a psychologist. He
Yeah.
studied it for a while. It could be fake, but I heard it from him. Well, apparently that's why almost no introverts have ADHD.
Surely not.
Well, that's the well. He thinks that AD is. I'm going to go on a turn here. I
Sure.
don't know if you guys want to stay on this topic.
I'm not
but-
gonna lie. I can't think of an introvert with ADHD.
Well,
Do you know that many people with ADHD though?
I mean, fucking most guys.
Yeah, most guys.
Most guys show traits of it.
Yeah,
at least.
yeah,
have you
I think
guys?
everyone in this room shows traits of ADHD.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's apparently according to him, there is no such thing as ADHD. It's not a thing. It's if you are a certain person, you won't be able to stand still. And the characteristic traits, and I've remembered them are one, you have to be one extroverted. Two, you have to be an open person, like you're open to ideas.
Yep.
And then three, you've got to be low in conscientiousness, which means that you're not a hard worker. You're just in general, you're not a hard worker. That's like, and then when you mix
Marks
that,
me to a T.
yeah, and when you mix that with a low neuroticism, which means that you don't feel that much pain from something bad happening, it means you're constantly thinking about things and you can't sit still and you don't really care that much. So because of that, you just can't sit still.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
And-
know if I agree because it's not just about not being able to sit still. It's like a mental thing too. It's not just about
But
like,
it's-
I'm hyper. Like that's just one aspect of it.
Okay. I mean, you're more than welcome to disagree with
I'm
it.
no
But I think it's
scientist,
an
so-
interesting. I think it's
yeah.
an interesting point that it's not actually a disorder. It's just who you are.
I mean,
Like,
maybe.
the
to
building
be
blocks that
fair-
make you mean that you can't sit still.
But psychology all could be said. It could all be
Yeah.
broken down like it. You could say,
Yeah.
"Oh, a psychologist is a psychopath isn't actually a disorder. It just happens to be a bit of a cunt."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm actually interested because pretty much all three of us have ADHD. But and I used
I
to
have
be on.
ADD.
It's the same thing.
Don't
I-
have the hyper part.
Is it the same thing?
No, it's
I
a
thought
different
ADD
disorder.
was older. I don't think
Oh,
ADD was still
A lot of people grow out of the H.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I would say I'm the H.
Fun fact.
That's the main one. Just
Yeah,
very
yeah.
hyperactive. Anyway, I used to be on medication. I hated it, but Aaron is on medication. So
That's right.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of our viewers fucking have
not
ADHD.
the fun stuff either.
Yeah, not the fun stuff.
Well-
It doesn't have like meth or anything in it.
Well, well, I want to hear how's your experience been on it, and would you recommend
It's
it?
fucking life changing.
Well, what type of ADHD did you have? Like, what do you have? So if you were
ADD.
off,
Sorry.
yeah. Well, like, as in, if you're off the pill, how was a typical day? How, listening to
Oh,
a lecture
man.
or working, like, how does it feel?
So you just zone out constantly.
Yeah.
So if you're in a lecture, especially when you're at work, even if you're reading a book, like you read one sentence, you've forgotten it.
One sentence.
Yeah, one sentence, you've completely forgot what you just read. It's like
And then
really
you're staring
bad.
out
As
the
soon as
window?
I started taking the pills, it made life so much easier.
How? No. So if you couldn't go from reading a sentence or even like half a page, we'll say,
Yep.
what could you then do with the pills?
So the thing is, I still get distracted
Yeah.
easy. So that's the thing.
no one doesn't get
But
distracted.
it's
Are there side effects? That's what I'm curious about.
so for the first few weeks, I was like almost falling asleep all over the place. It was crazy.
Really?
It hasn't affected my mood or anything like that. That the good pills do, like the ones with I don't want to say meth, whatever it's called. That's in it. Do you guys know? When it's like speed,
Amphetamines.
amphetamines.
They don't even. Ritalin doesn't even have amphetamines.
Really?
No, the one in America does.
Oh, okay.
The one that starts with
Yeah.
A or
So
whatever.
with Ritalin and Adderall and stuff, you become a
Adderall
zombie.
has
That's the one.
amphetamine.
Yeah. You become like a zombie. Your mood, you have no emotions.
That's how I was,
pretty
bro.
much. Yeah, exactly. It's not a vibe. So this one doesn't change your emotions at all. It's called Strattera.
No, Ritalin doesn't change your emotions.
Yeah, it does.
It's
It
like
does, bro.
Dexy.
No,
It
no, bro.
does.
You become a drone.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
well, I know amphetamines definitely doesn't because amphetamines you're on a high. People do. What's the other one that starts with A? Adderall. People do Adderall in the States as like cocaine.
I
The
can't.
the high calms you down. It's not a high that
No.
that makes you like
They
crazy to
They
go.
do it. They call it student cocaine in the States because they're all racking Adderall.
Well, I've
Yeah, but
never
that's
racked it,
non
so-
ADHD students doing it. They're just
No, no.
they're going
That's
way
true.
overboard.
That's a good point.
If you're given the right dosage of ADHD, the whole idea is that your body is craving like some sort of dopamine hit. So you're so distracted trying to find it.
Yeah.
And all it does is just gives you that baseline. So now you're no longer craving it. You've got it. So you can sit down, you can focus because you're having that baseline of dopamine that every other human has that you're looking for. You're trying to have it to hit that baseline.
So why would you say that it makes you like a drone?
Well, because suddenly you don't like you. Joe Rogan speaks about this really well, and anyone who has ADHD will really like it when he talks about it. As a kid with ADHD, you feel like a car where the engine just goes fucking crazy and then sometimes just breaks down and then it goes way too fast and then it breaks down. But it's a fun ass journey. Like when
Yeah.
you're driving fast, it's a lot of fun. And
Right.
then suddenly you go into a Prius and you're just driving at 60 k's an hour and you try to hit and you're going foot to the ground and it's just not going any faster. And
You just said it just levels you out, which
Yeah.
means you're not trying to go 60.
That's before the pills.
and the thing is, on ADHD, it's not like everything you can't focus on. No, you can play games fucking 5 hours straight with laser focus and with so much energy, so much more energy than anyone else would have. You go into these pills, you can focus on reading a book, but you're not used to life at that little energy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of how
It's
it
not
feels.
even completely energy. It's just like you have no emotions. I'm just thinking of when I was taking Ritalin. I had the sample of it for 20 days straight,
Yeah.
prescribed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of it, I just didn't feel things. Like
Yeah.
I nothing was making me happy. I was watching TV shows I would typically laugh at, and it just there was
You know
nothing.
what
There was just
Ritalin
nothing.
does? Ritalin does the opposite of amphetamines. So amphetamines produces endorphins. Ritalin, it's like a methadatadudada,
Yeah.
one of those kind of ones, and apparently it actually stops the production of it.
So it's like the opposite.
It essentially, it's like a dam that it builds up and it eventually gets released in a high burst, but it builds up. It doesn't just. That's why the amphetamine is the one that people actually take at parties and stuff
Ah, I
in States,
see.
Right,
Because they
okay.
get a
Makes
buzz.
So
From
it's a
it.
complete different effect. Ritalin to
Yeah, no,
Adderall.
it's a different drug.
Yeah, I know it's a
different
different drug,
underlying
but I
drug,
didn't know the actual effect was completely different.
Oh yeah, no,
method.
but what I mean is like it's like how Panadol is Panadol is paracetamol
Yeah.
and ibuprofen is fucking Nurofen or whatever. Like they're different drugs that perform in a different manner. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes
And then
sense.
Modaf is like completely different again.
Yeah, modafinil.
Well, how's been your experience on Strattera?
Strattera. I believe it has a different name in America. I'm not too sure, but it's been absolutely amazing. I can't go back, except for it's bloody expensive.
Oh.
$50 a fucking month.
But that's nothing. For
Man,
your
I'm
focus
I'm a
back?
poor man.
For your
$500,000 in the savings, Aaron.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I love
what
the
got.
idea of just spreading the
Yeah.
spreading the practical
And $1
joke
million
that Aaron's
in
just
crypto.
exceptionally rich.
Didn't you make like $1 million of Shiba?
Oh, mate, fucking
How
here and
much
there,
did you
know?
actually lose in the crypto crash? Wasn't it like 300K?
Oh, mate, made it all back.
That was in one day, bro.
Yeah.
It just went down 1%. Anyway, boys, thanks for tuning in with us. I'll let James do the outro.
Thanks so much, guys. Make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple or Google Podcasts. If you do, you might get read out. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Check out the TikToks. We're posting fresh TikToks every week. You know, exclusive content, so you won't hear it here on the pod. Make sure you check that out. Check out the Discord. Check out the YouTube, the Instagram, all that shit. You know what to do. Fucking thanks for listening to us, boys. Have a great one, yeah? See ya.
Cheers, boys.
Have a good one.